Volusia County, and we do something cool every month. When we go to our meetings, we have a different charity that we bring in, and we let them talk a little bit, and then they get blessed. So I know the lady that is here today, but can you introduce yourself and your nonprofit, please?
Hey everyone, my name is Sandra and I'm with One Family. We're a local nonprofit covering 2 counties in the area of foster care and family redemption.
And you guys been around forever, and you are truly
time.
foster parents too, aren't you?
Yes.
Give us a little bit of your story.
Well, in a nutshell, we moved to Volusia in 2001 and quickly learned in early years of our marriage that we were suffering with infertility. That led us to fostering and adoption. And then that turned into this platform of just being able to bridge the gap between child welfare and the local church with a capital C. That means all the churches of all denominations. We've just been having this privilege of really educating the church on
totally have been educating.
Foster care stuff and how the church can be involved on some level. And so we just celebrated 12 years of doing that. So
it's been very interesting. I've learned so much from you guys and your journey because, we all have an idea of what we think fostering is. We all have an idea of what we think adoption is. And I was actually listening to the podcast you were on recently. We're replaying it on WAPN each week. So you were on a podcast the other day with Heavenly View.
Yes.
And I loved some of your answers. Well, not some, like I didn't like them all, but I mean, how people have misunderstood fostering, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
And how
misconceptions, that's just, it's common. Like people assume things or they've heard one story.
Right.
That kind of just blankets their whole view on what foster care really is and what adoption through foster care is. So, yeah, that's one of the things that we love to do is just dispel myths, educate the church, and really encourage the church to do something. So we have a lot of empowering and equipping type things that we do as a nonprofit so that churches know what they can do. Because I honestly believe the people of God, they want to do something.
Totally want to do
something. They have the heart for it.
Totally.
They have the scriptures that back it up. They have the compassionate care. They know that Jesus has called us to it. They just don't know where to go and what to do.
And the commitment. And I think we always think that we don't have time. We can't do that. I used to think that. I did, I did not have the calling to be a foster mom or an adopted parent, but I did have the calling to help. Yeah. And so wraparound was the hugest part of my life. Yeah. I mean, I love being the wraparound person.
Yeah.
And you think, well, how does that make a difference? Well, it makes a difference. And I've loved some of the stories that have come from you guys, like, washing clothes, helping doing the laundry, mowing the lawn, coming over and rocking kids. I mean, bringing a meal, helping why one has to be taken to a doctor's appointment. I mean,
so practical.
Yeah, but, I didn't ever think that was practical. I didn't get that. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And that is something you vocally have told the community. And I love that about you guys. And then now you're really educating the churches, and you have this platform now with this software. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure,
that's a whole part of you. And
because if you're going to tell the church they need to do something, they need to also have the tools to do it,
right? And so,
because the tools are what makes this doable, and how do you do anything along these lines if you don't know foster parents, or if you go to a church that doesn't necessarily support foster parents, or what if you're a church leader and you don't know how to? So this is the software. We actually have 2 different ones, but the wraparound one is awesome. It's called Promise Serves, and it allows the church to mobilize volunteers within their own congregations to do small housekeeping things, light housekeeping, bring meals to families, provide babysitting and respite, help with the lawn, maybe even help throw a birthday party. Like, you can just find out whatever your niche is or what it is that you like to do and offer that service or that skill to a family and do it right there. It's organic, or should be organic. So if you already kind of know that there's a family in your church, this kind of gives you the tools to be a part of.
It's the
bridge.
It's a bridge that gaps you, because we all don't want to be weird.
Right.
And we don't want to be that person that says, oh, do you need help? And then they look at you like, what makes you think we need help? You know, we get that attitude going.
Right.
But I think when there's something in the church that already is available to you, you don't have a problem saying, I can donate a lawn a month, or I can donate 2 hours of babysitting, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think
it's built in when you do it this way.
Right.
And when it comes from the leadership, it really does help when the church kind of has the DNA of this. Like they create a culture of, they already do it to help families like who are grieving a loss of a loved one. They already do it when they go visit somebody who's sick. They already do it when they throw a baby shower for a mama in their church.
Yeah.
What do you do for foster and adoptive parents? And so this just helps with,
I love it.
This is what you can do.
Right. I love it.
And foster parents on the whole, and I used to be one, we don't ask for help because we feel like we're called to do this, like God told us to do this. How can we put this on other people? And this allows that kind of more natural
pride thing. I mean, I'm not being mean, but it's kind of a pride thing because, like you said, we took this on, and we're going to do it.
Yeah. And why should we put this pressure, obligation
and see, as
on
a person
someone else
that likes to be the wraparound, I look at it as a blessing because I couldn't do the other part.
Right. And it's really a ministry. Right. So if you love to bring used clothing that you found good deals on at a thrift store, or you can find new clothing at a good deal, or you have the ability to find diapers or wipes or whatever it is, that's your contribution. And it's your ministry.
Right.
And then those
I'm
families then receive
I'm
that.
the underwear person and the peanut butter person and nightgowns, because I think of the little kids coming, and they usually don't have a nice pair of pajamas.
Yeah.
And they usually don't have 7 pairs of underwear, and then I'm a peanut butter person because I love peanut butter and I think it's protein.
Yeah.
But it's funny that those things, I think over the years, how many I have bought as part of my thing. And every time I do, I always think, well, some little kid is getting underwear. That's like,
it really goes a long way. Like, you think it's your little thing, but it's nice to be able to provide clean underwear, new pajamas to a child who comes into foster care with very little to nothing.
Right.
Because I've brought children in literally with one little boy I brought with a trash bag with a balloon because they were keeping him busy in the office. And so he had nothing. I've had children come to me with very, very worn and used clothing. So a new pair of pajamas and underwear is a big deal.
Right. But see, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's that easy to be helpful.
It's that little thing. It's true. And everybody has their little thing.
Right.
Because we all have something that we can offer.
Yep.
There's somebody in the community that can mow the lawn, or there's somebody that can come do the light housekeeping. We knew a pastor and wife that were fostering, and they used to set the clothes outside in baskets, and somebody would come by, pick up the baskets, go wash,
Are you sure it wasn't my mother? Because my mother loved to do laundry. But I love that story because sometimes when my washer would break or whatever, basically my mom would do that story. She loved to do laundry, and if she was alive today, she would
have been
person.
that wraparound person.
Yes, because
and it's so needed because it allows the foster parents to focus on the more important things, like connecting with the child, like dealing with all of their appointments and having to get them everywhere, and their visits with their bio parents. There's a lot of other things that go on that this one thing could alleviate so much on their plate.
So if you're listening right now and you want to be this person, but maybe your church isn't doing this, is there a number, or could they go to your website?
They can contact us.
How would they do that?
info@onefamilyfl.com, and I'll get them connected.
Okay.
Info@onefamily. And then there's this, this whole other software program that's a little bit more popular because it doesn't require I hate to say it like this, but it's not as relational. It's more it's more of a tangible need that I can just provide and I have done move along my way.
I have done this part too, and I appreciated it.
We have a lot more people involved in that. It's more it's response teams, and response team members see a need online of a foster parent, a relative caregiver, a mom who's trying to get her kids back, and it's just a one-time thing. Usually it's like, do you have diapers? Do you have
it's the biggest
wipes?
blessing.
Do you have
I did twin
groceries?
Beds.
Yeah.
I did twin
do you
beds.
Have beds.
I did twin bed mattresses, and I got more blessed than I think the person did, just because when they came to get it, it was so special.
Oh yeah.
It was so I will never forget that day when they came. To me, I was like, well, I got new ones and they were still in great shape, blah, blah. And these people were like, no, you don't understand. And they're memory foam. And I went, uh-huh. And they went, and you're giving them to us? And I go, yeah, and I have the sheets because they're extra long twins. And they're like, okay. They looked at me like it was,
Well, because twin beds are the biggest need in our area. Actually, it's probably the biggest need in both of our counties, Volusia and Flagler, that we cover. We are always needing twin beds because children who've had a DCF case or who have been a family who's been investigated, if it's a poverty related issue, which a lot of times it is, those children are not supposed to be co-sleeping.
Okay.
No matter how old they are, they're not supposed to be sleeping on a couch. They're not supposed to be sleeping on a floor. They're not supposed to be sleeping on an inflatable mattress. They're supposed to have a mattress, and twin beds are the smallest. And so they fit best in most families, in most spaces. And so we get a lot of twin and bunk bed requests.
Yep, I see that. Now, how can people see that need list?
Oh, that's really easy. If you want to be a community responder, you don't even have to go to a church. You don't even have to have a church that responds or that is a part of Care Portal. You can go to careportal.org. It's just spelled careportal.org, no space, and click on sign up and be a community responder. And when you do that, you sign yourself up with your address and your zip code and phone number and email, and it allows you to see any need that comes into Care Portal, either through a child welfare agency or crisis pregnancy center within a certain radius of your zip code. So it's pretty cool. So like within 25 miles of where you are, you will get the email in your inbox. It'll say family A has this list of needs. And if you have any of those needs, you just click on it, click on the box, submit, and then somebody will contact you to come pick it up.
Oh, I mean,
it's so easy.
It is easy peasy because I'm
really
in my
easy.
eyes visualizing. I'm gonna have to drag this, put it on top of my SUV. I was thinking all those things.
No, they come to you.
No.
What's really awesome is you know where your stuff's going.
Right.
So yeah, you can donate it to a local thrift store, which is still awesome. But this way, you know that your item is going specifically to a family that is caring for a child in foster care or preventing a child going into foster care or helping a mom who's choosing life for her child. It's an awesome way of giving away your stuff.
I will always remember that day because it was so special. So are you in need to educate churches, or what is your ministry need right now?
Oh my goodness. One of the biggest needs that we presented at Bold Ladies and is the reason why I get to be here today, so thank you, is that we are in need of grant writers. That's one of our biggest things because we are on the ground and we're like doing the grassroots stuff, and we also do all the training. So anything training related to agencies and churches, we do all that. We do it in person, we do it online, and we do all of the support that follows that. So it keeps us very busy between Promise Serves and Care Portal and just continuing the relationship with churches. We have a relationship right now with 27 churches. It's
wow, you're
awesome.
up to 27?
And it's growing, and I thank God.
Wonderful.
I thank God for that.
I remember when it was just the first one. So 27, you're doing great.
27, our goal is to get to 50 by the end of next year. But one of the greatest things we need is the finances to continue to do it because we don't charge for anything. We don't charge to use the online platform. We don't charge, for even when we are purchasing items to help, we're not charging anybody for anything. So grant writing is something we don't have the expertise for. And if there was a grant writer that was hearing this or somebody knew a grant writer, we want to talk with them about how can we partner to get some of these larger grants that could help us grow. Because there's some things that we have vision for, such as counseling center, trauma-informed counseling. We're still wanting a building. These are some of these bigger ticket items that are not in our budget.
Right.
And so that's probably number one.
And how would this person that's listening right now, or maybe watching the YouTube, or maybe on Facebook, how would they get a hold of you?
they can contact me through info@onefamilyfl.com.
Say, I am your grant writer.
Go on our website, and check us out, onefamilyfl.com. We definitely want someone to have experience in grant writing, because we've had some people reach out to us that have a heart for this kind of missions work, but have never done grant writing, and it really is a specific skill. And so somebody who has expertise in it, especially in this area, because we want them to be able to know, like, the who's who in our area, to know who to connect to, because let's face it,
they're all best kept secrets, just so you know. All those people, we have to know somebody to know somebody, right?
And we have such a great community of a lot of people who are philanthropic. It's just, how do we tap into that? How do we get in touch with them? How will they even give us their ear?
Right.
And so
I
this
totally understand.
grant writer would be the person to say, hey, I'm a grant writer, and I want to speak to you on behalf of one family.
I love that, because you're totally right. We have great organizations out there, and we have great things that are donating to different things. But if you don't have that little niche, I guess is the word I would say, it is hard to get the grants. It is hard to get the, the bonuses and all the different things. So I'm glad that Bold Ladies was able to give you a check that day, and I'm glad that you got to present.
That was really kind and generous. And I believe, like, this is just the beginning for people to hear more about One Family and what it is that we do and how it is that we serve the community, because I think, we're still so small in the sense of the knowing, the connections.
I think what happens is, just like people have a misconception about radio. They think, well, you turn it on, and Shelley's always there, and it's all taken care of. But it costs a lot to run a radio station and a mic and all those different things.
Right.
So we have to educate.
Right.
And I think that that's what God is allowing you to do by speaking at these different women things and getting you out there.
Yes.
Because one person can be sitting in that audience.
Right.
And be life-changing.
Yeah.
We just don't know. So I'm glad that you're getting to speak at other groups and starting to get out there.
It's awesome. And we speak at churches too. So my husband's an ordained minister. And so churches can invite him to come either preach a message on serving the least of these in our community. But we can also come into a missions window. We have churches that will say, come speak for 5 to 10 minutes on what you do. And, we'll give you a love offering. Or that they'll allow us to train their church to be a part of the team, the team that serves.
You can get to that 50.
Yeah.
So it's how do we get a hold of you again?
They can go right to our website, onefamilyfl.com. Not only does that educate them on what we do, there's a subscribe button for our newsletter. There's all kinds of ways to contact us through that onefamilyfl.com website.
Awesome. Well, so now we know all about why she's here for Bold Ladies, because she did get a check from the Bold Ladies that day, and she did get to speak and start getting the word out there. And so if you're a group out there, women's, men, whatever, call them and they would love to come speak. And then now we're going to switch it up a little. I've known her personally, and we joke about this because one of the ladies that contacts us between the Bold Ladies, she didn't know that we've known each other forever.
Right.
It was so cute.
She was introducing us.
I know, it was so cute, and I loved that. I did. I thought that was so special, because how long have we known each other? My gosh.
Well, we came to Volusia in 2001. It was probably soon after, maybe.
Right. So 24 years?
Oh, 5 or 7. I don't know. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
And you've been different parts of WAPN all the years. And we're celebrating our 40th year at the end of this month. And
so cool.
We've been doing memories. And everybody asked me, why was this important to me?
Yeah.
Because we have 4 generations of WAPN in our family. My parents were the first. I'm the second. My daughter Yvonne, who helps out here, is the third. And now my granddaughter is sending music. So she's the 4th generation. And I love hearing from people that have been part of us, why did they start listening to WAPN, or why did you come and do a program on WAPN? And it has been, if it's only for me God did this, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the man that just left, he personally knew my parents. You know, a lot of people personally didn't know my parents just because maybe how long they've been part of WAPN or whatever. And so we got to share stuff about my dad, and it just blessed my heart.
That's
so
awesome.
Do you have any memories of
Well,
WAPN?
first I want to say, I want to give honor where honor is due.
Okay.
Your parents did start something amazing. And what's even more amazing is through all of that, you still stayed strong. Through the loss of your parents, through the fact that you could have just sold this business, this ministry. You could have done something else that was easier. and I know some of the story of even the financial part of how difficult it was to keep this going.
Yep.
And so I honor you,
thank you
for continuing to say yes to something that your parents, they passed on the baton and you took it. You didn't have to.
Nope.
And
there's 4 children.
I love that you said yes to that. And
Thank you.
maybe your siblings weren't as interested, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens with family businesses. There's just the one child that says yes. I'm hoping that one of our 10 children would want to take the baton of continuing the work of family restoration and redemption and helping families in foster care. I hope that, and I
have
pray
a feeling
that.
there is.
And so I love that that you said yes.
Thank you.
One of the greatest things I've loved and enjoyed about WAPN that sets WAPN apart is the prayer lines. Because I'm a woman of prayer.
I know you are.
I believe in prayer. I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be fostering and adopting. I wouldn't have adopted 10 children if it wasn't for that lifeline between me and the Lord. Because yes, I read my Bible, and the Bible does have the answers to a lot of things, but some of the specific things like, Lord, am I supposed to be saying yes again to foster children is not in my Bible. as far as specifically saying yes to number 5, 6, and then continuing, right? So there are things that happen when we have a prayer walk with the Lord. And I love that you make that very prominent on your show, on your station, I should say.
That was
very
the first
important.
thing on WAPN was prayer.
I've called into the prayer line before personally, but I've also enjoyed just listening and praying alongside of the people that call in.
Yep, my mom loved to do that.
Like they're calling in about some dire need or needing healing, and I just bind my faith with theirs and say and call out to the Lord.
Yep.
And I love it. I love that people, whether they go to church or not, know that there's someone praying and believing with them. So I love that. I love that.
Honey, you could just do my whole commercial about prayer line, because
I love prayer line.
Yesterday was so special. Jim Pelletier was back. Jim Pelletier is a man that was been on prayer line for 30 years, has been in the hospital for over a year, 2nd transplant, and he came back yesterday to WAPN and did prayer line. Do you know how special prayer line was yesterday? Let me just tell you. Caller after caller calling him and saying, we've been praying for you.
Oh, yeah.
We've been praying. It was so cool to see the community just reach out and hug him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because he sowed so many seeds of prayer.
I know.
And then he gets to reap that.
Right. And
That's
so
beautiful.
This last 24 hours has just been like,
wow.
I knew prayer line was important, and I knew why we did it. But to hear it from somebody else is so special, because there's days when I think, oh, should we do prayer line? Or why hasn't this prayer line got filled up or whatever? And then God will say, the right person. And I did not even know Jim was coming back.
Oh.
We hadn't come up with a date. Okay.
Right.
We held his place, but we didn't know. And I get a text on Tuesday night. Can I come back tomorrow? Are you available to help me? Heck yeah, I'll work it out, and I had to move some stuff, and it was so special. And then I didn't want to announce it, because in case he didn't feel up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And him and his wife came here, and he did the whole hour, and it's wonderful, and he loved all the new technology.
Yeah.
And I was like, welcome home, buddy.
Oh,
But
that's so special.
Isn't that neat to know that we've all been praying for him?
Yeah.
And like you said, we've all stood there and just held on with him.
Yes.
And to see him walk back through that door when all odds have been against him.
Oh, yeah. And I think what prayer line does for people, too, is see that they're not alone.
Yep.
Because other people are struggling, too, with the same things. And so they're not the isolated person listening to a radio, not realizing there's other people that are also sick. Other people
hope.
that are also feeling hopeless, that are also needing a touch from the Lord.
You get prayer line. I love it.
I love prayer line. And my second thing I love about WAPN is there's something for me personally about deep worship. I love Stephanie Gritzinger. I love this like soaking kind of worship that takes you to a place in the Lord. And I think mainstream radio stays away from that because it's a little bit uncomfortable, because it can hit you while you're driving, and you could be brought to tears because you want to pull over and just get on your knees before the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of worship I like. And that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that you don't steer away from that. That you allow that kind of worship to be played.
That's the funny story of that, because I deleted the whole thing a few years ago by accident.
Oh.
I was always trying to find my own with the music, but I was trying to represent my parents and blah, 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 and the shifts have changed and stuff. And one day I accidentally deleted everything, and I kept hitting to try to get it back, and it didn't come back. And I heard God say, "You've got 3 minutes." I said, "What do you mean I got 3 minutes?" He said, "I want you to program WAPN." I found a song, and he's going, "Well, you got 3 more minutes. You better do something." And I said, "Well, what am I going to do?" And he goes, "Well, what reaches you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Live, raw, real worship." Now, I can't have every song like that just because it's hard to find.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
But I would say at least 70% probably is real raw. And it ministers to me. And I knew it ministered to you because you've come in here a couple different times and something's been playing, and I could just see it on your face.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That is my heartstring.
Yeah.
It really is. Worship is just, I can't sing, I can't do it, but I know, like you said, there's days when I feel defeated, or days I feel like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever? And that song will come on that just takes you to your knees.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing you can do but surrender that moment.
Right.
I love that we shared that with each other.
Yeah.
Man, you have made my day, girlfriend. You have. Well, you're a very special lady in my life.
Thank you.
And I've known you and Steve a long time, and I'm so happy what you've done with your lives. I mean, you've made a difference where it's something you got served in your relationship and your marriage that could have went lots of different ways, but you chose to take hold of it and do something about it and give life to all these children.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave them an opportunity and you gave them a life. And I want to publicly thank you, because I'm sure it hasn't been easy. And now you're training up churches that don't know what to do. And they don't get it, and that's okay. But like, I love the part you said earlier about when somebody's grieving, we know what to do. They have a new baby, we know what to do. But why don't we need to do when they have a crisis, which is can't have a child? And there's all these children out there that need a mom and dad. And you guys have become the warriors for that. So you're warriors for thousands and thousands of children.
Oh, praise God.
And thank you for doing that. It's all
for His glory. It really is. And it is hard, but it is worth it, because Jesus did the hard for us. We haven't always been obedient and done the right things, and so being foster and adoptive parents is hard, and we get it. And so we also try to help pastors who are struggling to minister to families in crisis to also get it. Yeah.
So tell them again how they get a hold of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Shelley. They can go on our website, onefamilyfl as in Florida.com.
And I know them personally, and I do know personally that they do answer your messages. Because, well, sometimes people get on the air or whatever, and you get excited, and then you feel like they didn't reach out. I know you guys reach out. I know you have a heart of servant. I have seen you in stores picking up stuff to go deliver to somebody, or I've seen your van packed with stuff to go take to a family that was just getting a child. You guys are real people. You are the hands and feet of Jesus, and I appreciate you, and I love you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
God bless.
God bless you.